kuitika kunoko ndagara ndakumbira ruregerero, but I think really next week things will be smoothly. I can assure you that. It is just unfortunate that I had to change things at the last hour, but we have to discuss this issue we have here today. Right, I think ndanda pana Teterozi. Teterozi Muriseiko, how are you there in America?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Did you manage to listen to what Professor Jonathan Moyo had to say?
Yes, I actually listened to the professor, and then I listened to George Charamba.
Yes.
And then I read George Charamba's interview.
Yeah.
That came out today as well. And then I listened to the people's reactions.
Yeah, so you the judge, what's happening here? What's in the air? What do you sense is happening?
To be honest with you, after I listened to Jonathan Moyo and then to George Charamba, I just honestly just felt dirty. I am so tired of ZANU-PF. I mean, I've never seen people with so much drama who never take responsibility for anything. They just, I mean, that party, I don't even have words. If I listen to Jonathan Moyo come in, and with his arrogant self, he starts talking and blaming, and he talks about how much he loved serving under Mugabe, and how upset that Mugabe is gone. He's saying all these things. I'm like, you know what? Get over yourself. You know, and so people, of course, mess. I mean, he has some things that he said that were right. That the coup was a coup, and that these people are violent people. Yes, that's all correct. But at the end of the day, he's not exactly a person anyone is going to take seriously, because maybe if he came with a different attitude, maybe if he started with, I'm sorry, Zimbabweans, for what ZANU-PF we have done to you as a party, what we put you through. And this is what I have to say. Maybe Zimbabweans would pay attention and listen. I don't know. And then I listened to George Charamba, who comes out and, of course, instead of really addressing the issues addressed about constitutionalism or anything else, he starts talking about the professor is a character. But then in all the grandstanding that he's doing, he actually lets out one of the biggest secrets, open secrets that we've had in the country. He says, I don't know why why Jonathan Moyo is complaining about people who have kept ZANU-PF in power in 2008 and 2013. So he actually admits that these people have been, the junta and Mnangagwa especially, have been keeping ZANU-PF in power. I mean, they're all criminals. I mean, after I listened, I was disgusted. I actually felt dirty. That's how I felt. And I was like, the country needs a new dispensation. ZANU-PF just needs to go. We need something new. We can't continue like this. This is dragging the whole country down. We're not going anywhere.
All right. Thank you so much, Tete, for that. Yeah, that's a new one to me, that you felt dirty after listening to both of them. It's incredible. I like that one. Now, Sekuru.
Yeah, Muzukuru.
Sekuru, we've got this issue in situ, but may I take this opportunity to thank you last week. You came on air whilst you were in the motorway and all that. Your dedication is beyond recognition. But I just want to dwell back on that. I know what you said on that day. Do you still stand by that? The reason why Mnangagwa went to Changira, do you still stand by that? And do you still stand by the people who organized it?
Yes.
Knowing what you know now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. No, that's fine, Sekuru. Thank you so much for that. What about this, your friend Jonathan Moyo coming out and do his waffle with BBC this morning? What was that all about?
Well, that was about a desperate man trying to wiggle out of a very sticky situation that he created for himself. As far as I'm concerned, Jonathan Moyo is in that position because he created it, nurtured it, and refused to listen to anybody who tried to counsel him to change the law so that the law would be more user-friendly. Now, the same law that he cultivated is the same law that is giving him problems. He doesn't know what to do. He is the one who banished all international media from reporting from Zimbabwe, arguing that he wanted 100% local content. Now he has got local content and he doesn't want to use it. What's the matter? The matter is the man is just a hypocrite and a mischievous politician seeking revenge against his former allies who have turned against him. But in so doing now, because he is in a cul-de-sac, he is now giving a few useful hints and tips for the opposition to employ to fight the replacement junta regime that is taken from the dynasty junta regime. So there are certain things that he is saying in a way of spinning issues to his favor, but it's playing into the hands of the opposition. It's only a question of just grabbing the opportunity and turning it to our advantage.
So, so Sekuru, when he says that Mnangagwa and Chiwenga were the architect of the Gukura Hundi and were the architect of the matter that happened in 2008 and 2013, is he hinting what the MDs, what the opposition need to do here?
He is not hinting about that. It's not the first time he has said that. He has said that while he was here as a minister, he has said that his father was killed by during the Gukura Hundi period. He left his father. So it's not a new revelation that he's making. The revelation that he is making there is that this government has not been in power through the ballot, but through the bullet since 1980. And he knew that this is what has been happened, but he saved that government up to the time that the bullet was turned against him. And that is what the MTC should be using. Not this nonsense that Kukura window or something like that. The important thing that he is making a revelation of is he has been perpetuating an illegitimate government and saving it, and he is proud to have saved it.
Right, okay. Thank you so much. So who is he now to complain about the legitimacy of Mnangagwa and Chiwenga's organization, government? Because, I mean, he was serving in an illegitimate government himself.
Yes, and that is what we must now use to get at Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, and this coup government. We must tell them that even Moyo is admitting that we were an illegitimate government because we came through the barrel of the gun and not the barrel of the pen.
All right. Thank you so much, Sekuru. Mukoma teach. Tinofara, we are hearing a bit of fidgeting there. Would you like to disclose what you are doing there in your office?
I wasn't doing anything actually because I tried to get hold of you and I ended up having my dinner as I was.
What are you having tonight? Are you having Sodza tonight?
Nothing extreme, just chicken stew and rice.
All right. And you don't ask people if they want to join you?
I think you're all welcome. There's much to go around.
Thank you, Mukoma. We'll be there in a minute. So, I mean, whilst you are finishing what you are doing there, I want to go kuna Tete Sali. Tete Sali, sorry?
I'm done.
Oh, you're done? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So please contribute. What's your take on the professor's interview this morning?
Under the circumstances, I think it was fantastic. I'm not a fan of the professor for the propaganda and all these hyper, laws, etc. But one thing that I know.
Oh,
what is going on now?
Who is that? What's going on there? Who is talking there? Goodness me. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so what has happened is that under the circumstances and the pressure that I'm sure he probably is going under, he tried desperately to sound calm. He tried desperately to put his point across, despite the fact that the British are already using soft power to show which direction their politics is going, and they're going with the power holders. They were not going to give him any opportunity to say anything that will undermine the Mnangagwa government. He tried to bulldoze it in, but the reporter or the interviewer was quite categorical that that's not what they wanted. What they wanted was to accuse him, put him on a pedestal, and taste themselves. So Professor Jonathan Moyo, for the first time in history, became a pawn in the geopolitical games. He is the one this time that was brought in so that they could try as much as they can to humiliate him. But the key words that came out is that the British have said they will engage with the Mnangagwa regime, so has Angela Merkel, so has the Americans, and so on and so forth. In other words, they were saying the dethroning of Mugabe, no matter how illegal or unconstitutional it is something that they are happy with. In other words, Mnangagwa will be rewarded for the coup. No, it doesn't matter whether in their countries they will never allow such a change of power. The point of the that was clear to me, beyond all our national hatreds and all the other things, is the fact that what was clear was the British were using this to make it clear which direction their wind is blowing. One of the British peers in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office was in Zimbabwe and met the foreign minister, and they've already agreed that they will hold the elections, otherwise Britain is not going to engage because it will be dirty. So to cleanse themselves, they're insisting that elections be held. Given the condition that Trangirai is in at the moment, and also the succession fight now that has erupted within the MDC, it's going to be very difficult for the opposition to win. I'm just hoping they'll be able to whittle down the ZANU-PF 2/3. But I can guarantee you right now, much as I detest and resent it, Mnangagwa is going to be an elected president soon, and the West will have their way. That's as simple as it is. We can waffle all our emotional positions and pains and all that. In the geopolitics, the only people that can rescue us are the Chinese, for the simple reason that they are the ones currently that were enjoying the lion's share of Zimbabwe's plundered natural resources. So the fight now is almost like the Cold War level, where China will want to maintain its stranglehold, continue to get lucrative tenders. At the same time, the Brits that always ran the industry in terms of mining and extraction of minerals will want Rio Tinto, which has already come back and is already advertising jobs, to go back and dominate that. Companies like London to come back and dominate that. Companies like Clough Resources to come back and dominate. These are all companies that operate on the London metals market. Commodity broking is a major part of British economy, major part of their foreign currency earnings, and it's even much more lucrative when the British are running their multinational organizations in those countries. It's why the BSAP or the BSAC was given the Royal Charter to colonize Zimbabwe. It's an age-old British tradition. Now that Britain is exiting Brexit, is going to Brexit, Zimbabwe is the fallback or not Zimbabwe only, but all the Commonwealth countries are the fallback position for Britain to realign its own world domination economic might, because it's outside the EU now, or is going to be outside the EU. So there's that geopolitics. Now, Jonathan Moyo put something very clear to all of us, is that these are the people that have already been holding Mugabe in power, even whether he loses or doesn't lose. And these people were prepared to go as far as it was necessary for them to go. Now they are directly in charge. Minister of Foreign Affairs is the general ward, the spokesperson. The Vice President and Minister of Defense is the same person. Funny thing today, I heard that Chiwenga has been tasked with dealing with issues of price controls. And I said, Minister of Defense, what happened to the Minister of Industry and Commerce? So it's all confused. You can see now the power of Chiwenga. How has he been assigned to go and chair that committee when he's Minister of Defense? You think he's concerned with security matters. So now what you need to understand is that Jonathan Moyo, for all you hate him, has revealed a few very important things. There are people within the government that were not supporting the coup, that facilitated their departure, however way they did. So there are people within still the security sector or government system that facilitated the departure of Jonathan Moyo. One thing is also clear is that he committed no crime other than to support what he believed in, which he continues to support. We may not like the fact that he supports Mugabe, but that's a principled position, and he's not making any excuses about it, and it's not a crime. So there's no reason for him to be charged with any of those crimes. The other thing he said, which was very important, was that when he left Zimbabwe, he was not a fugitive from any warrant of arrest for anything other than his political beliefs. It's a fact. We can't run away from that fact. They were not saying they're targeting him because he was charged with him, because that's an operation of law police issue that could have easily been handled. Other issue that he also concentrated on was, did it really need tanks and all that matters that we saw if it was just targeting Kasukuri, Jonathan Moyo, and
Chombo?
So at the end of the day, wasn't that overkill for a factional fight within ZANU-PF? Those things were very important. And he said international law is very clear. And that's why the British Lord came today and said, you must hold elections to cleanse Britain's decision to engage and cleanse this illegal regime. That's it. This is just geopolitics, and Jonathan Moyo, for the first time, he used to be making other people pawns, was made a pawn this time around. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mkoma Teach, for that. Some people might not want to like to hear some of the stuff you're saying, that Mnangagwa is almost a shoe-in there.
100.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Tete Sali, South Africa, I know you've got your own thoughts on this. I was following some of the threads that you were, posting on our WhatsApp platform there. It's fair to say you're not a fan of these people.
Oh, Jonathan Moyo. Oh, I absolutely adore him. I was so worried when he went missing. Not. I was absolutely... I don't care, you people are going to hate on me, that's your problem. I was disappointed to find out he was still alive. I really was. Now I got another one to worry about. Seriously. Where Titch came with all that stuff from the regurgitated stuff that Moyo was pumping out, I have no idea, okay? And yes, I do believe Britain is desperate enough to deal with Mnangagwa because of that stupid Brexit thing, okay? And that infuriates me. What Moyo had to say, I listened to the first 2 minutes, heard the cockerel, and started thinking, what kind of cockerel is that? Then I heard the dogs barking, okay, and I thought, whoa, that sounds like the dogs down a couple of houses down here by where I am. Maybe Moyo's living here by me. I mean, all he did, okay, was, please, we know that Mnangagwa and them are illegal. For heaven's sake. I mean, if you don't know it, then, sorry, go back to underneath your stone, because there's something wrong with you. There is nothing that he said to me that I thought, oh, I'm so glad I listened to this. It was just the same stuff over and over and over again. Okay. And seriously, I mean, what I got out of it was, okay, how he absolutely adored Mugabe, how he got out the country legally, how he got a warning that it was going to happen, so he went and slept, I think it was at Mugabe's house, with the family and everything, okay? Really, do I care? No, I don't. I care about the mess that he lived with for 37 years and agreed with and boosted and everything else, okay? That ended up with the country like it is now. That we have got the author of corruption and murder and violence and rape and rigging in charge. Moyo put him there. All those G40s, they're the ones that put him there. It's because of them that we have got the illegal, rotten, I'm trying to be polite, slithering, blithering, people that we have, okay? And the worst part is that those are the people that Britain and them are, I don't know about America, America a bit dicey there, okay? But Britain and them are going to deal with. They're prepared to deal with that scummy, horrible scum pond, okay? They're prepared to deal with that. So they let the country degrade to where it is now, okay, with Jonathan Moyo part of the band, all right? But now this lot, now they're going to walk around like saviors. Oh, lovely, mate. Look, we saved Africa again. Thank you, Jonathan Moyo. Thank you very much. Because that is what you have done to us. So, did I enjoy listening to him? No, I wasted, what was it, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my time that I can never get back again to listen to a man that was part of the cabal that put Mnangagwa there. So, no, I'm sorry he's alive.
He is alive. Okay. Thank you so much, Sally. Right. Are you still doing Chikristo Netsika, or you stopped a little bit now?
No, we stopped a little bit because there was just too many. There weren't enough. The panel wasn't enough. Panel was, one would be busy there, another one would be busy that side. So
no, I was just going to suggest a topic there that should you wish for someone's death or not? You know, I think that would be a good topic there.
I'm not wishing for his death. I'm not wishing for anybody's death. I'm just telling you. I'm sorry that he's alive. I don't wish him dead.
Oh, okay.
But I was quite happy when he was dead. Well, when he was supposed to be dead. There we are.
All right, Sally. Thank you so much.
I don't wish him dead. I don't wish anybody dead.
No, you don't. Mukoma Benford.
Yeah, DJ Sodza.
Yes, Mukoma Benford, you've been vindicated. You said that Jonathan Moyo was nobody and he was not a missing person. We shouldn't talk about him, and that's it. That's the end of it. Are you vindicated?
Of course. I think that was the most important thing about his interview. That the world got to see him alive. If it was a radio interview, somebody on this show would be saying that wasn't his voice.
That would be me, Ben, okay? I've got a name, I'm not a somebody.
It was Chiwenga, doctoring the voice and stuff like that. So the world got to see Jonathan Moyo. He's alive as well. As for his speech, there's nothing much to talk about. If anything, what we can learn from his talk is let's stand on principles. Okay? When people are doing what is wrong, irrespective of your political standing and where you are, you should stand and say, let's follow the Constitution. Because one day it will be you who will be affected by the same system. Okay? So what we heard from Jonathan Moyo today was, our grabs. Okay? This is a man, when ZANU-PF was violating their own constitution. I can give you an example. When Mayamu Juru was changed from the party, they did not respect their own constitution to follow haifana kiitwa nepati yao kana munachizingwa. Anili, Jonathan Moyo never said a single thing. Even when ED was sent out of the party, they were not following their own party, the constitution. So for him to come and say today, Zimbabwe should be retained to constitutionalism, it's nonsense. Okay? Just because you are being affected, you now want to follow. So that was probably what I can say is the take-home message I got from that, from his interview. And I always say this to the people in opposition. When you see your leaders going astray, let's not be afraid to tell them that you are way out of what we expect from you. Be it Tangirai, be it whoever. And I see that often in the opposition. They just let their leaders stray away from their own constitution, and they don't make all that noise. Maybe one other comment you were talking about, the fact that he said Mnangagwa went to negotiate with Tangirai about postponing the election. Those who want to believe a serial liar like Jonathan Moyo or something like that, you are free to do that. But I can assure you, between May of this year and July of this year, there's going to be an election in Zimbabwe. Okay? Mnangagwa needs that, not only to solidify and legitimize his presidency more. He has to do that election, and it's going to happen. Whether I want to believe Jonathan Moyo, it's up to us guys. Then the last thing that I can say, let's move on. If we continue to debate about the legitimacy of Mnangagwa's president, I think we're wasting time. He is the president. If you are not happy and if you feel that he's illegitimate, there will be an election 5 months from now, and we will see whether he will be removed or not. So let's not continue to live in history, fiction, imagination. Let's be realistic. Mnangagwa is the current president, and there will be an election, and we move on.
All right. Thank you so much, Mkoma Penford, for that. Regarding kuna Mkoma Wilpet. Mkoma Wilpet, you stayed up. I know that for a fact, to listen to it first, and you didn't want to listen to it, with the podcast and stuff like that. So, what did you take home?
I'll be honest, I was really disappointed with the whole interview. This interview, for maybe some people who were not following it, is on Hard Talk. And Hard Talk is a regular program where the individuals are put to task. Just in our own case, this was the same program at which Mayamu Juru was interviewed a few months ago. And she was put to task. She was asked really hard searching questions that really hit on the nail. And Mayamu Juru was further asked by one of the guys who used to do actually Hard Talk, Tim Sebastian, and was also again taken to task. I was disappointed that this time that did not happen. I mean, this particular case, one of the things that I think a few other speakers here have referred to is that ZANU-PF has been rigging elections. And yet now Jonathan Moyo wants to appear as if Mugabe was totally legitimate. He wasn't. He has been rigging elections. And in fact, if anything, the same people who were rigging elections for Mugabe are the ones who also staged the coup in 2008. And Mugabe was instrumental to that. And Mugabe did nothing. Jonathan Moyo was part of it. In fact, was part of the team that was doing all the strategies and so forth. And this lady who was interviewing him never took him to task on that. You know, and even on the issue when she tried to get him to pin him down on Mugabe's legacy about the unemployment and the serious poverty and so forth, she allowed Jonathan Moyo to wriggle out of it by saying, oh, that is a challenge. That is semantics. Honestly, that is the legacy that has left the country. 75% of our people are living on, even by her own account, on $5 or less a day. That is the legacy that Mugabe has left and the dictatorship has left. I think the central theme that should have been nailed, Jonathan Moyo, here is that the coup in November was a continuation of all the years of vote rigging and the staged coup in 2008. This was the culmination of it. People in Zimbabwe and even in the international community welcomed the coup because it was a necessary evil to get rid of a bigger evil, i.e. Mugabe. People had tried to get rid of him by voting, and he rigged the elections. What else could they have done? You know, so in this particular case, I think that is what the BBC Hard Talk interviewer should have nailed home. I differ with Teach there about his geopolitical and so forth. BBC did not have a chat with Minister of Foreign Affairs before they carried out this interview and say this is the focus you must focus on. I don't think that is the case. It was just this lady did not handle this interview properly. And in this particular case, I agree with some of the people on this panel that we are in a mess because of what ZANU-PF has been doing. And Jonathan Moyo should not be trying to tell us as if to say his G40 group was somehow the better half of ZANU-PF. It wasn't. It is one and the same thing. And the corruption and the mismanagement and the mess we are in was all brought by these people. They have now divided like an amoeba. Half an amoeba is in another half. The two halves are still corrupt. The two halves are still tyrannical and so forth. If we had got Grace and G40, we would be complaining right now. We got Mnangagwa in this Lacoste. We are in trouble. And this talk of, we should just go on to elections. Mnangagwa is not going to hold free and fair elections. And that is what we need to address right now. Mnangagwa knows that he cannot win free and fair elections. And to let him through the back door by thinking, oh, we should give him a chance, I think we'll be making a big mistake. Because 5 years down the line, when we realize the economy is not improved, he would have settled down, put his feet under the table, and rejigged his vote rigging machinery to the point where we will be exactly where we were before the coup. I think we should emphasize the importance of making sure that the coming elections are free, fair, and credible. This issue of him negotiating with Tsvangirai, that point, we cannot dismiss it. Tsvangirai himself had encouraged the coalition to be formed with a view of then we can postpone the elections under the pretext that we are preparing reforms and so forth. Tsvangirai would have happily accepted that. But the truth of the matter is there is no legal basis to postpone elections because Mnangagwa is finishing the term of Mugabe. And the constitution is very clear on that. After 5 years, there must be fresh elections. And those 5 years we must insist on. If ZANU-PF cannot implement the reforms to make sure the elections are free and fair, then the elections would be declared null and void, and we are back to where we were in 2008, into some kind of GNU, and this time it will not be ZANU-PF and MDC. We will implement reforms so that we have free, fair, and credible elections, and we need to move on. We can't keep on going round and round in circles.
Right. Thank you so much, Mkoma, for that. Mkoma Wilbert. For those that are just tuning in, Zimbabwe, thank you so much for doing so. We were just digesting, what Professor Jonathan Moyo had to say on the interview that he gave the BBC early this morning, in which we all learned that he is still alive, actually, to the disgust of other people that I thought he would be out of this world. But anyhow, he said what he had to say, and so pana wasati wataura here, wasati wakomenda here on the on this issue ya Jonathan Moyo, because I can't see you all there. Has everyone participated there, guys? Or I think so.
No, Masule, she's spoken.
It's very unfortunate.